Hello, everyone on the hashtag KBullets YouTube channel. Sorry I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks, but I was thinking about this. No, I'm also sorry about the fact that there's no intro. That's very long. So, today I'm going to talk about what if Cars 2 wasn't about spies, but instead it was about more Piston Cup races. So everyone knows that Cars 2, well, out of the Cars movies, Cars 2 has the worst rating. It's about spies, oil, well, more specifically, alternative oil. It's just as a spy movie premise. And it's about Mater rather than Lightning McQueen. Yeah, that's Cars 2. Not about Piston Cup racing, first of all. Here's one of my Lightning McQueen toys. Lightning McQueen would have been the protagonist of this alternate Cars 2, rather than Mater. Basically, the scenario is a speculation scenario. What if Cars 2 was about Lightning McQueen and Piston Cup? First of all, the intro scene from Cars 2 would have never been there. We would have never been introduced to Finn McMissile and Holly Shiftwell, who had nothing to do with it. The racing around the world thing doesn't seem that bad, but most fans probably just wanted what happens with Lightning McQueen after Cars 1 in the Piston Cup. So, that's what will happen in this Cars 2. Feel free to draw things about it, since this video idea was actually quite last minute, but I just spent a while thinking about it. But I couldn't draw right now, but here's the start of the movie. No intro from Cars 2, instead we have a different intro. Or the movie straight up, well, it might start with Lightning McQueen racing, or it might begin almost the exact same way Cars 1 and Cars 3 began, with Lightning McQueen inside Mac. And then Lightning McQueen would have gone out racing. But pit crew would look a bit different, since Lightning McQueen mentioned that Guido was not in the pit crew for Cars 2, so Lightning must have had other pitties during the time being. So instead, those pitties are there, and they pit Lightning McQueen. Odds are Bobby Swift and maybe even Cal Weathers would be in the movie. Strip Weathers is retired, since he retired at the end of Cars 1, so that's there. It's a 50-50 chance if Chick Hicks is retired or not, since he is nowhere near retirement in Cars 1, but in Cars 3 he is retired. There would be no next gen, since that's a Cars 3 thing. But there could be electric, well, maybe there'll be an all-in-all style fuel. I'm gonna say no, because we want to stray completely away from the Cars 2 that actually exists. So give me a moment to grab my Cars movies. I have them. I'll be back. All of you obviously know that this is Cars, the first movie. This is Cars 2, and that this is Cars 3. But do you notice the differences? Yes. And even this. You notice the differences. Cars 2's cover would look a lot more like this than this in this alternate Cars 2. So, that's what Cars 2 would have been more like. But back to the main point. Lightning McQueen is racing in the Piston Cup against a maybe Cal Weathers, maybe Bobby Swift, maybe Brick Yardley, and also a maybe Chick Hicks. Lightning McQueen has won 4 Piston Cups by the point of Cars 2, so it would just be the 2011 Piston Cup season, which I will talk about in a future video about Piston Cup history. For all those people who are waiting for 1977, be patient. But in this alternate Cars 2, Lightning McQueen races with Bobby Swift, Cal Weathers. So basically the whole movie will just be Cars, the beginning of Cars 3. Or maybe Lightning McQueen has to deal with a serious rival who's not like Jackson Storm, but Lightning McQueen overcomes this rival. So that will happen in this alternate Cars 2. Or maybe it would be set before, well, you know, this Cars 2. But except instead of that being shown on screen, the alternate Cars 2 would be. Many people would agree with me, saying that would be a better Cars 2, since it would be more related to Cars 1. And saying it happens after Cars 1, Strip Brothers' retirement. But, here's what would still happen. Sadly, the Hudson Hornet would still die because of the fact that Paul Newman died in 2008 in our timeline anyways. So Cars would have to remove Doc Hudson from the timeline because of the fact that he is old and then he died. So the emotional scene between Lightning and Mater about the Hudson Hornet would still happen in this alternate Cars 2. If you remember my Hudson Hornet crashes video, this might be bringing tears to my eyes. Do you see any? No. Not really? Okay. But anyways, that would still happen. I don't know about Lightning and Mater joking. Lightning and Sally, well, basically the Radiator Springs part of Cars 2 probably would have still happened. Instead, Lightning is preparing for the new Piston Cup season. Lightning goes on and races against Bobby, Cal, Brick, and potentially Chick Hicks. So Chick Hicks would probably have a bigger chunk of the plot because this would be about Cars 2. Chick Hicks never made an appearance in Cars 2, so this would make things drastically different. Yeah, all Cars 2 would just be teeter-tottering towards these victories. And maybe it could be a chance to see a whole Piston Cup season. Lightning racing at the height of his career, and potentially winning Lightning McQueen the 2011 Piston Cup season. That's foreshadowing. Lightning does win the 2011 Piston Cup season. Or, no, does he? No, he wins in 2010, but maybe 2011. Lightning might have won 2011. I still need to think for future ahead. I'm still at the 1977 Piston Cup season at this point in time, assuming that you watched the video on release day. But yeah, that's the Piston Cup history. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's not Piston Cup history. Well, I'm talking about my previous videos. You remember the What If Lightning McQueen Never Had a Conscience? Well, that'd probably be Lightning's revenge on Chick Hicks in Cars 2. The alternate Cars 2. This would end with Lightning, Bobby, Cal, and the others just racing, and Chick Hicks maybe retiring if he's in the movie. But if Chick Hicks is not if he's not a racer in Cars 2, it would just be basically the beginning of Cars 3. Yeah, it would sound boring, but it would make more sense. But still, Mater would still get screen time, but Cars 3 might have, less Mater is better. But, well, there'd probably still be more Mater since people like Mater in Cars 1. But Mater wouldn't have as large of a role. It would just be more. Mater is just a side character. Lightning McQueen is the main character in Cars 2. Do you see Cars 2 here? Yeah, this might be backwards. Yeah. That is Cars 2. But instead here is the back of Cars 3. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to. That's right. I need to focus on the video. Why? Because YouTubers can be distracted. And also here's Cars 1. But the graphics will probably be equal to that of Cars 2 in our timeline. It's saying that the graphics would be akin to, well, what this is considered. If you watch Cars 2, well, in the alternate timeline, that's what you get. But maybe there would be a World Grand Prix style situation. Maybe, if we're going to consider being closer to actual Cars 2. But it would be more about Lightning McQueen and his racing than Mater. So the main concern would be Lightning McQueen racing Francesco Bernoulli and then winning the World Grand Prix. Instead about all the all-in-all stuff. And I've been rambling for almost 10 minutes about what Cars 2 would have been, or would have been, depending if you live in Canada or the US, as you all know, Cars 2 happens all over the world, but Cars 3 just happens in the US. Wikipedia has a Wikipedia page about Lightning McQueen, saying that he is an American. Well, Cars, well, the Piston Cup at least, is based off of NASCAR. So, yeah. The Florida 500 is the equivalent to Daytona in NASCAR. So, a lot of equivalent racers. If you've watched my Piston Cup history, NASCAR fans would understand who is based on who here. So, also, who's been helping out with my Piston Cup history? G&M Cool. You are a cool guy. Shout out to you for making all of these videos and providing images, well, videos of certain crashes so you can help me fill in the blanks, because not a lot of Piston Cup evidence exists between 1954 and 2005. So, that's a plus. But I've been rambling for 11 minutes about what Cars 2 would have been. Besides, like and subscribe to #KittyBullets YouTube channel.